Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and welcome to an Anfield Index special. One of those ones that you didn't really want to have to do, but it is big news, and we have got to revisit it, ladies and gents. I did Media Matters with David Lynch, be it about a couple of hours ago, call it, and obviously we chatted about all the various themes. Of course, Mo Salah's interview was one of the themes, and there was a comment that he made, whereas if Mo Salah isn't in the Liverpool side or the squad for Tuesday, I guess, into Milan, he's gone, isn't he? Now, we've got an update on that, people, haven't we? I'm your host, Dave Davis, coming to you from Edinburgh, where it's windswept and it's a bit mixed, which is what it's kind of felt with this, ladies and gents, if we're being completely honest, isn't it? Because we've all been waiting for news. I'm sure you're the same, as to what is going to happen after a bombshell interview where he talked about the relationship with Ornstein, or there not being one, where he talked about someone, and I think we've got a feeling who someone is, wants him out of the club, and talked about him almost being scapegoated for what is happening. And quite rightly, a lot of people have come to his defence. But it's about what's happened today, isn't it? So, just in case you missed it, here's one to bring you up to the scene of events. Fabrice Hawkins put this out at 11:37, didn't he? Saying it's his exclusive. Mo Salah is out of the Liverpool squad. He is not travelling to Italy for the game against Inter. Decision has been made by the board and by Ornstein. At which point, it's natural you were thinking, it's over, innit? A little bit. And, you know, what's going to happen? Will he be back for Brighton and all those types of things? But I think we've all got a great idea of what you were thinking anyway. Now, there came a little bit of a twist in the tale, because if I'm almost drawing the timeline, we've got to go back a little bit. We saw him come into training just before 9 o'clock this morning. A few smiles waving from his car. It's like, okay, there was something in this. Then we got the Fabrice Hawkins update, didn't we? And we thought, okay, I think we know where this is going to go. It's sad, but it is what it is. We'll see if anything more breaks. And then we got another twist in the tail, because Liverpool's open training was naturally just before 12 midday today. And who was in it? Lo and behold, all smiles was Mo Salah. All smiles. And there's a picture there, which is true, repeatedly in chats, repeatedly exchanging conversation, I should say, with Dominic Szoboszlai. And we thought, hold on. Okay, is this that he's in training, but he's not in the squad? Is this like something we missed? Is this exclusive completely wrong? Have we got something more to wait for? And we didn't have to wait too long, because all of a sudden, at about, just before 20 past 12, one of the big dogs whipped into action, didn't they? And David Ornstein tweeted. David Ornstein tweeted that Mo Salah is expected to be left out of Liverpool's squad for the Inter match. There's no final decision yet, and the 33-year-old, as we can see, is in training. It would underline Arne-Slot's support, but it's not viewed as punishment. More common sense after comments, and Liverpool want the forward to stay. There's a lot to be looked at with that tweet, a lot we've got to get into realistically at the same time as well. But the key line with the caveat as well, Mo Salah is expected to be left out of the Inter squad, but there's no final decision yet. So right now, as we stand here, are we completely certain? Until Liverpool, release an official statement, until we see as they do release them normally, the pictures of them going up to the plane, until Liverpool release the name of the travelling squad, the travelling party, we are a little bit unsure, let's say, of just right now what is set to happen. And in fact, if you're thinking we're that unsure, of what's been set to happen. I've thrown in David Ornstein for you. It's probably right to go to the GOAT, isn't it, as well? So what's Indy Callier been saying about this? Two big things, and this is literally hot off the press, this one. He said, the players don't know if Salah is flying out with the squad currently. He's bought his travel bag in case, but it's unlikely. We might see Vert, Isak and Ekitike in some capacity tomorrow. It was briefly discussed, but not confirmed. That line is the way it is, isn't it? Discussed, but not confirmed. And Indy also tweeted this in case you missed it. High-level meeting planned immediately after training between Mo Salah, Arne Slot and Richard Hughes. So what we maybe do know is that no one knows for definite as to what is going on right now with Mo Salah. And until that team is announced, or the squad, travelling is announced for Milan, we genuinely are a little bit in the dark. Maybe it's just typical of everything that's going on, because the players look a little bit of the dark of what Arne Slot's trying to get them to do specifically. But there we go. Now, there is a few bits from David Ornstein's article which are absolutely worth mentioning. Obviously, I'm jumping between big names here, aren't I? Ornstein, Indy. But obviously, it talks about Mo Salah being out. The call will be taken by sporting director Richard Hughes in conjunction with the club's ownership, and would underline their support of head coach Arne Slot, almost intimating that it's not their decision. They're making this decision to back him. And it was, funnily enough, something that we just talked about on Media Matters with David Lynch, who did say that actually Mo Salah's actions may just have bought Arne Slot a stay of execution, some extra time, because Hughes, Edwards, the powers that be, however you wish to phrase it, will not want to give in to player power or be seen to bow to player power at all. So inadvertently, Mo Salah's comments may, we don't know for definite, but may just have extended the reign. But actually, when you look at this David Ornstein article, I don't think it's the biggest bit all round that you should be focusing on. This is it for me. It follows Salah, who trained with his teammates on Monday, saying Saturday he felt thrown under the bus by Liverpool, and revealing that his relationship with Slot has broken down. The 33-year-old was speaking after the draw at Leeds United. Yeah, the third consecutive match, which he's named on the substitutes bench and where he didn't feature. And it's that someone does not want me in the club. That's the build-up, isn't it? That's the absolute bombshell element. But David Ornstein's just given us a bit more. Now we've layered that context. Look at this for a line also. Liverpool do not regard the Egypt international's exclusion against Inter as disciplinary action, and the step is viewed in isolation rather than having a bearing on Salah's possible selection going forward, including for Saturday's Premier League game at home to Brighton, which, as Salah talked about in his interview, you know, his mums or his family are popping over for. So it looks like it's a one-time thing, but I don't want to see how you can say it's not disciplinary action where you're leaving him out the squad. Isn't that the very definition of disciplinary action? It doesn't just have to be fines, does it? Or a warning. He's being left out the squad because of what he said. Disciplinary action. But there's more in this David Ornstein article. I think these are the two paragraphs that people are going to fixate on. Liverpool insist that they remain fully committed to Salah and his contract, which runs through until 2027, whilst maintaining the current situation is temporary and can be turned around. They are said not currently to be planning for the forwards exit, nor making plans to use the January transfer window for possible replacements. How much do you believe that? How much do you believe in rainbows, unicorns, and those types of things? Well, rainbow's true, isn't it? Well, you know what I'm getting at. Liverpool insist they remain fully committed to Salah and his contract. I don't believe that for 1 second, especially with what's happened and the way it's going and the Saudi rumours at the same time, which we've mentioned before on the transfer show. Do you believe Liverpool are fully committed to that? Whilst maintaining that current situation is temporary and can still be turned around, David Ornstein wrote. Now, that is possible. It could still be turned around. Define temporary. Because Mo Salah's seething. You know, Arne Slot will be raging at the same time as well. Hughes and Edwards will not be happy with these elements of player power as well. Define temporary there. That line, they are not said to currently be planning for the forwards exit, nor making plans to use the January window for replacements. And yet we've seen links to Semenyo, Minter, and I'm not saying they're direct replacements. I think we've all talked about how Liverpool are looking longer term to replace Mo Salah. I suppose whatever I say, the question is really, how much do you believe that? Because I know what I think. And even then, another little bit for you as well, because Indy did put this out at the same time. Mo Salah will be told in the meeting after training that he will be selecting the squad for Saturday's Brighton game if no further issues arise. So is that how Liverpool are playing it, do you think? Is it along the lines of, almost like it sounds like a Monty Python sketch this, but he's been a very naughty boy, so don't do it again. You're out the Inter game, but Brighton game, you'll be back if you don't do anything further. It's never that simple because of the characters, because of the egos involved, because of the public nature. But that is the way it does seem to be playing out at the same time. We'll have to see. Now, another little bit that came out in training, because you're obviously thinking, okay, if Salah's out, who's going to play? Is it going to be like Ekitike, Gakpo, Dominic Szoboszlai on the right, almost as it was against Leeds? But just to note, from the open training, there's no Cody Gakpo. There was no Federico Chiesa. And there's no Endo as well. Now, that could mean they are still on the plane, of course. You know, we've seen that before. We have to be, you know, crucial and clear on that. But, yeah, there's no Chiesa, there's no Gakpo, and there's no Salah. Who did, like, Wirtz, Isak, Ekitike, Rio and Gamora on the bench? Might be easier than ever in the bizarrest way to be able to pick Liverpool's lineup for Inter Milan. But you just don't know. Again, just because they're not in open training, they could still be available. Liverpool, ladies and gents, are on absolute fire right now. You know, it's burning, isn't it? It's pretty, you know, disheartening a little bit, everything that's going on. It just feels like it's going to be a pivotal week. And as we said on Media Matters, I mean, it's really possible. How much faith have you got in us getting results in Milan against Inter and at home to Brighton on Saturday with the way everything's going? This is not one of those. Do you remember when Bellamy won, you know, the golf club at Risa, and they went to score 2 in the new camp? It doesn't feel like that. There's a lack of harmony around the whole thing. It feels pretty desperate right now, truth be told. We shouldn't have too long to wait, it seems. And importantly, just doing a little bit of digging and behind the scenes trying to get info. We will probably have some sort of transfer show for you, a bit of an emergency one in a way, coming up in the very near future. But just in case you've joined that sort of last minute or late, no one's fully sure. Fabrice Hawkins said he's out of the squad for Inter. Then we saw Salah in open training. We thought, hey. But then David Ornstein has said, no, most likely not on the plane. However, there was that bit at the end, no, or in his tweet, sorry, no final decision yet. has this prolonged Arne Slot's reign? What's going to happen with Mo Salah on the flight, not on the flight, post into Brighton, post that January? 1,000,001 questions for all of this. I think, unfortunately for you, maybe you're going to see a fair bit more of me or hear more of me talking through this. But hopefully you get it, ladies and gentlemen. It is all just to keep you updated, informed, and give you as much as we can. Christ, we will see what else this brings, because Monday, the 8th of December, that was an AI special.